Alex, yeah, the mood really hasn't changed here. Obviously optimistic amongst Scott Gillingham's staff, but the room is still empty, and I've been told that's because a lot of supporters are still out about on the town in different wards at different polling stations. And I'm joined here by campaign manager Luc Lewandoski. Luc, how do you feel about tonight, the precipice? It's all finally coming to a close. How do you feel?
Well, civic campaigns are just by definition very long. You've got 6 months in the official period of time. You've got usually a month or two where you're starting to do your preparation beforehand. So it can be a real grind to get to the point where these last few weeks are what really has been making a big difference.
And Scott has talked a lot about police as if he was elected mayor. Mm-hmm. He's obviously a former two-term city councillor and the former chair of the police board. Right. He spoke about the fact that he promises not to to keep the police budget at or below the rate of inflation. He's promised to expand the pilot project to send outreach workers to low-risk mental health awareness calls as opposed to police. What are some of the policies that stand out with Scott?
Well, I mean, just staying on the police file, for example, Scott has already committed that he would be the first Winnipeg mayor to sit on the Winnipeg Police Board. And part of that is the governance issues that are still trying to be worked out regarding how the police report to the police board and not to city council. Scott has also talked about a full-throated commitment towards keeping the police helicopter. He has talked about how he has been up in Air One and how, from a safety standpoint, but also if we're going to control costs on the ground, part of the offset there is that having those eyes in the sky, that really makes a big difference, especially when you're talking about things like high-speed pursuits or, backyard break-ins, things like that.
And talking about his supporters, you said that they're still out in the wards, out at the polling stations. Can you talk about what you expect later tonight to look like as we come back to City News at 10 o'clock?
So, we've got a number of volunteers that are still out. They're going to be out into pulling voters out to the polls, but also they'll be there for the counts at 8 o'clock at all of the different locations. So right around 8 o'clock is once the numbers are going to start flooding in, as we all know, and then they're going to make their way over here. We're going to have a number of supporters that are going to start making their way over here. I'm expecting it's going to be a pretty full room, and I feel pretty good about tonight.
And we spoke a little off camera just about how Scott is doing. You were with Scott within the last 25 minutes. Can you tell me a little bit about how he and the people around him are feeling about tonight?
Scott said to me earlier today, and I think that's where it was a moment where the two of us had a chance to talk, and he said that he feels really happy about the campaign that we've run. He feels proud of the campaign that we have run. He's had fun. That's, as a campaign manager, that's where you want to be on election night. So I feel, hopefully the voters have liked what they've seen from Scott in the last few weeks here. And I think either way, we're going to be really proud of the campaign that we have done.
And thanks for joining us, Luc. And we're going to be back live from the Clarion at 10 talking to Scott about the results of the night to see if he is the next mayor-elect.